Our referee is Lisa Benn. Only appointment so far this season in the Championship. She issued 8 yellow cards in London City's 1-1 draw with Newcastle, but she did take charge of this fixture last season in the Women's FA Cup. A 1-0 success, as we know, for Spurs. Michael Butcher is the 4th official. Get set then at the Valley, Group E of the League Cup. Charlton versus Tottenham. An all-capital clash here. With Tottenham, you would suggest the favourites, but Charlton have started really, really well this season in the Championship. And they have got the quality, certainly up front, to give Tottenham something of a game tonight. Really interesting that amongst all the changes, Ellie Brazil, the top goal scorer for Charlton, does stay in. 3 goals already this campaign, including the winner against Sheffield United last month, and indeed 2 in the 3-0 home success against Portsmouth. She is in form, and she is a striker the Spurs will be wary of. Still no doubt that Tottenham are the favourites to pick up a group stage success, but we shall see over the course of the 90, and possibly penalties, of course. If it is all square at the 90, we're straight to spot kicks for an extra point for one of these two teams. Going to be interesting to see how ambitious Charlton are as well in the Championship this season. They are a side that like to dominate possession. Their average percentage possession 58.7 in the second tier, but already it looks like they're going to set up as a low block. Spurs, on the other hand, are a team that generally have played on the counter on their 2 games so far in the WSL. So both may be playing slightly differently to what they would do in league fixtures. Massive changes as well for both of these 2 teams, so we'll see how that bears out as well. Early throw in for Tottenham on the right-hand side. Should be taken here by Anachiki, who is a Hungarian international. She signed from the Swedish side Håkan in the summer. Has got a little bit of experience. She's 24, Hungarian international, scored in the European qualifiers for her country against Azerbaijan in an easy win. See how she slots in, having been a substitute in the 2 WSL games so far this term. Here is Sophie Whitehouse for Charlton, who has played in the Championship this season, along with Jessica Gray. They have played a couple of games each, or at least started a couple of games each, so she's got a little bit more experience. And Caitlin Talbot in the Tottenham goal, well, an American keeper who's on loan from West Ham. She was signed from Djurgården. As we watch Ellie Brazil break forwards here for Charlton. Be interesting to see how the USA stopper gets on. Not the worst ball in, but cleared away by Ashley Neville. As Charlton look to try and put Tottenham under a bit of pressure here. Skills unable to knock it forward. Spurs have got pace in attack. Saw Leonard Gunning-Williams get forward, just 19. Watch out for her. Just 1 substitute appearance so far this season. Brazil looking to use her pace here. That's really good defensive work from O'Rourke, from Bühler rather. As O'Rourke looked to get forward over on the left-hand side, and that should be a Charlton throw. In fact, it's a Tottenham throw. So quick-fire start, and we expect plenty of energy and effort. Early season, of course. Yes, it's probably 3rd in terms of priorities for both of these clubs. Obviously, Charlton desperate to get back to the top flight. They've never played in the Women's Super League as it is at the moment, but a top division club if you delve back through the archive. Been through the mill a little bit off the pitch, but we know what a really good history they have got. Former Women's FA Cup winners back in the mid-noughties. Tottenham haven't really got the history that Charlton have, but they've done brilliantly to get up to the top flight in recent years. And of course, that was in no small part down to Karen Hills, the Charlton manager, who coached Tottenham from 2009 to 2020. Along with Juan Carlos Amoros, they had dual duties as they managed to guide Spurs to the top division before they let go early on in the 2021 campaign. But she's found a home at Charlton. And after nearly getting WSL status last season, after finishing 2nd in the Championship, they'll be aiming to go 1 better this time around. They were just 1 point behind Crystal Palace. Agonising, really. Here is Ashley Neville for Tottenham. And back again to the fullback, who has started both of the WSL games so far this season, mainstay over the last few years, former Coventry fullback. Player that loves to get forward over on the right-hand side. Spurs dominating, certainly. This is Buehler. He's fit again and makes her first start of the campaign, incidentally. Clever play over to the left-hand side. Let's see what Charlotte Grant can do. Beth England waits inside the penalty area. This is Wimberg. Now it's with Grant once again. Touch here for Oroz, the Spaniard who was signed from Real Madrid, Spanish international. Wimberg, it's going to be a free kick. And already I think we're seeing that WSL quality shining through. Only opportunity with a free kick here. We know how dangerous Beth England can be from situations like this. She did score that 90th minute leveller against Aston Villa at the weekend in the 2-2 draw, but a vastly experienced player, part of the England European Championship winning squad of a few years ago. Went to the World Cup in Australia as well just a few years later. So Spurs with a free kick. Good fight inside the penalty area. The header up into the air rather than towards goal. It was Gunning Williams that managed to win the aerial battle. Charlton win it back, not for long. Spurs have got another free kick. Third in the WSL. Played 2, 1-1 draw, 1 so far. Second behind Chelsea and Manchester United, who have both got 100% winning records after 2 rounds of the top flight. A little bit later start, of course, for the WSL rather than the Championship. They drew 2-2 at Aston Villa at the weekend after that easy 4-0 win over Crystal Palace on match day 1. Some pretty impressive pre-season friendlies as well. Wins against Manchester United and Dutch club Feyenoord in the summer. Loaded up just outside the penalty area here. Going to be an in-swinger by the looks of things. Charlton with plenty back. Driven in towards that back post, nodded down and in, and Spurs have got the early goal. Wonderful delivery. Terrific header. Charlton all at sea inside their own 6-yard box. Well, it was a clever ball. It was an excellent ball, wasn't it, from this near side. Signal went up. Brilliant delivery. And amid 3 or 4 Spurs players inside that 6-yard area, the header down and into the box, giving Spurs a very, very early lead. Perfect start. Tottenham have the advantage. Luana back in the starting lineup and amongst the goals, Luana Buehler, who didn't score last season. I'll get confirmation of the goal scorer for you in just a second. Charlton have got a throw. Here is Atanen. Well, Charlton have got it all to do here, right from the get-go. This is England. Touch for Oroz. This is England. She loses out. In Brazil, time to race forwards. Well, it does look as if Vinberg's centre finds Bühler for the first goal of the game. So Spurs have the advantage here. Johanna Bühler with the pinpoint header. And here is the goal scorer once again. Really good ball in from Vinberg. This is Bartrip. Under pressure from Katie Bradley. He scored a couple of goals in the 2-1 victory over Durham recently. Scored both goals in the final 8 minutes. And now Cheeky shows good strength and determination. It's cleared away. England will race to the byline. It's a corner. Well, a positive start. 8 changes to the starting lineup. We wondered how Spurs would go about their business, but they've been brilliant in the opening dozen minutes here. They lead through Johanna Bühler's header from close range. Corner here is going to be an in-swing, and we know how good they are from situations like this. Cleared away. And then the shot from Molly Bartrip from distance, always going wide. Just cut across the ball a little bit there. Bartrip, who's last goal came against Brighton in an 8-0 away win in the WSL back in October of 22. A couple of years ago now. Charlton just struggling to clear their lines at the moment. It is Bühler, Swiss international who won the Swiss title with Zurich before moving to Hoffenheim and eventually to Tottenham in the summer of 23. Bühler. Space over on the left-hand side. Oroz. Neat turn. Opportunity for Vinberg to get forwards. Well, Tottenham are dominating at the moment. Unbeaten in 3 in the WSL. Their last defeat coming against Chelsea, the champions, back in May of last season. They've lost just 2 of their last 12. They've been in really good form. Back end of last campaign into this term, of course, they made it through to the Women's FA Cup final, beaten by Manchester United, thumped 4-0 in the final. But they've scored now in their last 4, although just 1 clean sheet in their last 9 would suggest they are a little vulnerable. But we've not seen anything really from Charlton in advanced areas just yet. Spurs have dominated. Whitehouse under pressure, looks to knock it away, but she's giving it away, and the shot just over the crossbar from Gunning-Williams. Well, nervous play at the back here from Charlton, masters of their own downfall nearly. Sloppy play out from the back, and it was Gunning-Williams that managed to pinch possession, but the effort was over the crossbar. Still determined to play it out from the back, which is to their credit, but sometimes you've got to mix it up a little bit if you can't get out of your own defensive third. This is Neville to take the throw, and then Beth England to help out. It's gone out for another Spurs throw. Drew the last game away from home 2-2 with Villa. They've drawn their last 3 WSL games away from home, incidentally, by 2-2 scorelines. Been entertaining stuff. They are unbeaten in 4 on their travel since a 1-0 defeat at the hands of Arsenal back in March. This is Bartrip. Here's the goal scorer, buildup. Spurs coming forward in positive fashion once again. Ross loses out. Now, there was a yellow card issued just a few moments ago. We're just waiting for confirmation once again as to which player was cautioned. Katie Bradley, we believe, went into the book, but we will check that for you shortly. We've got injured players at the moment, so an opportunity here for the Charlton personnel to get 1 or 2 instructions from the bench. Just the 1 goal in the game, and a little bit of confusion in terms of the goal scorer, but it was Buehler at the back post, as you can see, that nodded the ball into the back of the net. Terrific ball in from Vinberg. Well, you can see here that Karen Hills is speaking to her team. She can't be happy about the way that they've started proceedings here, because they've been timid, they've been second best. They haven't really competed at all with Tottenham. Expected much more from them. I'm sure it's a much changed side from the weekend, but they've started so well, and an awful lot of these players have been involved in those 4 wins from 4 in the Championship so far this season. They are top of the second tier. Confirmation that it was Bradley that picked up the yellow card for dissent. She goes into the book. Full debut after being used as a substitute this season. Former Manchester City junior, and came from Blackburn to play soccer in the United States college for UFC Knights. Former England under-19 international, talented performer. Neville in field. It's a free kick. Rare touch for Talbot. This is Oroz. Now it's with Artanen. Barclays will clear. England under pressure, but manages to find a teammate very quickly. Really good awareness. Now an opportunity for Spurs to get forward with England. Gunning-Williams inside the penalty area, taken down by Gunning-Williams. She still might get the shot away. It's cleared towards Ashley Neville on this right-hand side. Neville will turn. Always comfortable with the ball at her feet. Charlton tried to win it back, but Gunning-Williams has it again. Buildup. This is Vinberg. Curling ball in, good take from Sophie Whitehouse. Once again, to try and play it out from the back, but there's no real room to manoeuvre. Still struggling to clear their lines here, Charlton. Brazil to take it down. Neat touch from Neville. England loses out, and then Primus goes down. First time that she may well have touched the ball. It's been difficult for Charlton to get any sort of foothold in the fixture. Whitehouse to clear. Primus with a touch. Back towards Rowe. Whitehouse again. Flicked on Neville. First goal, incidentally, for the club, for Luana Buildup. Oroz. Spurs looking very good at the moment. Here is the Spaniard once again. England waits inside the penalty area. Pushed a little bit too far forward for Charlotte Grant. Whitehouse. Chested down neatly by Humphrey, but Charlton still deep inside their own penalty area at the moment, certainly inside their final defensive third. One back by Chiki. This is England. Forward by Artanen. Oroz. This is Barclays. And now Neville. Curled to the edge of the penalty area, taken down first time, and Primus has it now. Well, it's neat and tidy, but it's not necessarily penetrative from a Charlton point of view. They really are struggling to get outside of their own half. 25 minutes or so gone here. Charlton 0, Tottenham 1 in this first group game of the League Cup. Charlton will play Crystal Palace in November, then Aston Villa away from home in December. Spurs have got Villa at home, then Palace away. Their particular schedule for the League Cup this season. Hoping to do a little bit better than last campaign. They were knocked out in the quarter-final by Manchester City, going down at home by a 1-0. Charlton failed to get out of the group stages. They did finish second behind Brighton, ahead of West Ham and Blackburn, but were not one of the best second-place teams, and therefore did not make it through to the knockout stages. Better on here from Charlton as they look to come forward. Positivity from Bethan Rowe. Might be a free kick. Referee lets it go. Won't fall towards Brazil. Tap back for Talbot. Brazil charges this one down and nearly gets there. Oroz. Really good awareness. Turned infield towards Beth England. Good 1 and 2 touch play here from Tottenham. This is Neville. Good running off the ball from Cheeky. Neville again, looking to dig out the cross. It's fairly flat and low and easily intercepted, but the clearance isn't great, and Spurs win it back once more. Delivered towards the far post. This time the header is mistimed from Matilda Wimberg. Here is Wimberg. Touch from Grant. Well, just the one goal in it, but the golfing class and quality is there for all to see, if we're honest. Charlton struggling to live with Tottenham, but maybe they can do something here. Better from Bashford initially. Brazil, he's quick as we know, and that's what they've got to try and use. Good defensive work from Molly Bartrip, but the pace of Brazil gave Spurs something to think about for almost the first time in the game. Artanen. Bartrip forward. This is Grant. Now it's with Oroz. Here is the Spaniard once again. Signed from Real Madrid in the summer. Did play once before moving to England against Espanyol. Scored in a 5-0 away win. Former Athletic Club player and the Spanish international. The side that won the Nations League over the 23-24 campaign. Have Charlton just settled a little bit more of the play in that middle third all of a sudden? Bühler to turn. Oroz. Neville. Tap back by Bühler. This is Bartrip. And Charlton engaging a little higher up the pitch here. Won their game at the weekend against Blackburn, a 2-0 away success. They've scored 8, conceded just 1 in the Championship so far this season. Beat Portsmouth on match day 1 comfortably. Primus steals in and wins possession back, and now Humphrey an opportunity to get forwards here. Looking for the pace of Brazil. Can she get in round the back? Really good pace. Well, you can see why she's had such a good start to the season. She is a former Spurs player, of course. Only 9 starts in the WSL last season. Didn't manage to score. Previously with Brighton, had that spell in Italy with Fiorentina, won the Coppa Italia back in 2018, a former England junior international. She's still got an awful lot of quality in advanced areas for Charlton. Been so far over Portsmouth, Sheffield United, Durham and then Blackburn at the weekend, and just beginning to feel their way into this cup tie. Spurs managed to win it back. Having said that, not for long. This is Bradley, runs into trouble, finds Brazil, and now Primus. Red shirts getting in some good areas here. This is Humphrey again. Can she dig out the cross? It's not the worst. Flick towards goal. Talbot will collect. Well, better from Charlton, certainly. They've come to the party. It's taken them half an hour. Not been easy for them against the WSL side. Karen Hills, off the back of that Blackburn win, said, "We knew it was going to be a difficult game. You always know what you're going to get against Blackburn." As we see Spurs come forward again, and Vinberg on the edge of the penalty area. England is calling for it. Primus with the challenge, cleared away. Only as far as Artanen. And now Aros. Beth England with a header. Sort of cross that she thrives on. Now it's with Neville. Good interception. Bartrip. All the way back to Talbot. Bartrip again. Spurs to come forward once again. It's a powerful run. Threaded through to the edge of the penalty area, but she could just unable to control that one. It was a nice idea. What about the shot? Just laid it through. Rowe. Long here for Brazil to take it down. Now it's with Humphrey. Really good pace to the game. A lot of alterations for both sides, but good tempo, good industry, especially from Tottenham. Play back by Newsham. And Skills was caught. Captain, who has been ever present so far this season. She scored against Sheffield United last term in a 2-2 draw, her only goal, fourth season now at Charlton. After one at Bristol City, another former England Junior International Club captain. Primus looking to catch the eye after a couple of substitute appearances so far this season. But from an offensive point of view, we've not seen a lot from Charlton so far. Rots. This is Grant. It's a little loose. Primus will slide in. Look to keep the move going here for Charlton. They've got bodies in good positions, but it's played back here towards Skills once again. Forward by Rowe. And the Spurs have won it back really well. Vinberg for Neville. Turns under pressure, does well, makes it look easy. Gunning-Williams. Neville has it again. Here is Lena Gunning-Williams once more. Now it's with Ross. Neville gives it straight to Kira Skills. Well, 34 minutes have flown by here in this League Cup encounter between Charlton and Tottenham. League leaders of the second tier being bested by the WSL sides. Third in the Women's Super League after the really good start. Bartrip. Spurs to come forward again. This is Cheeky. Down the line by Grant. That's a corner. Well, we know how good Spurs have been from set pieces so far in this fixture. Haven't scored from a corner in the WSL so far this season. But the headed goal from Luana Bula is their second headed goal this season in all competitions. We're only 3 matches in. That gives you some indication of how good they are from set pieces. This is a corner. It's going to be an in-swing at Roz to take. Keep your eye on number 21, Luana Bula. Clear to the edge of the area. It's a bit awkward. Boots were high, but referee plays on. Bula does well. Uses her strength well. What about the delivery? It's not the worst. Oroz with the shot that's wide of the target. I've had a little bit more time here to measure the ball in. Not the worst strike as it was. Oroz. Primus comes in, does brilliantly to win possession. Now then, what can Charlton do here? Opportunity to get some players in advanced areas, perhaps. Rowe will knock it long. Well, the intended target was Katie Bradley. It's not going to fall for Charlton's number 7. It's back towards Caitlin Talbot. Press is coming a little bit here from Charlton. Need to be quicker at it, though, because Spurs are playing through it fairly comfortably. This is Neville. Oroz. Gunning-Williams. Neville again. Arton. To switch play towards Charlotte Grant over on the left-hand side. Now it's with Beth England. Dominating possession at the moment. Most of the possession after 37 minutes at the Valley. Here is Neville. In many ways, we've not seen chance after chance for Tottenham. I suspect that Karen Hills will be happy to get them in at 1-0. As if it stays at 1-0, of course. No guarantee of that. Pearce wins it initially. Charlton are a little sloppy. They give it away. Gunning-Williams wins it back. Arton inside the area. Gunning-Williams will leave it here. Still Spurs come. Look at Arton. Finnish international. Does get the cross in for Beth England, but off the top of the head and away. Difficult one, but we know how good she is in the air. Scored against Fulham in the 90th minute. Third season now at Spurs after Chelsea stalwart previously. 2 spells at Chelsea, of course. A couple of lengthy ones. 4 times a title winner, a League Cup winner on a couple of occasions. Likewise the FA Cup as well. Antonin with a header. Nearly falls for Beth England. Not quite now. Can Charlton break? It's a little short. Too short. Neville does well to help win it back. Now it's with Gunning-Williams coming forward, looking to use her pace. Inched back by Kira Skills. Oroz battles. Charlton just cannot get any sort of hold on the game. They can't settle in possession. Really neat turn on the left-hand side. Vinberg going forward here. There's all sorts inside the penalty area waiting for the delivery in wide, but the cross is cleared. Spurs come again. Oroz. Back for Artanen. This is Bartrip. Full season now at Spurs, full Molly Bartrip. That's a wonderful ball towards England. She might be able to get a hold of this one. Keeper comes. Doesn't really get too much of the ball, if any of it, but there's 2 Charlton players down, as well as one of Spurs' persuasion. The ball over the top for Beth England to run onto. It's a nice idea, this, in between defenders. For a second, she had first drop, takes it on her chest really delicately, but then he just gets away from her. It's unlucky. Spurs have a corner taken short. Full wait for the delivery. And it comes, and the header is wide and over. But Tottenham are moving the ball around really well here. Whitehouse goes long. Touch from Cheeky. Primus does well. Loses possession though. Brazil tries to race onto this one. One player press at the moment, but you need more. It needs to be much more cohesive in advanced areas. Oh, that was a little sloppy from Katie Bradley, who's on a yellow here. I just wonder. Bradley is being spoken with, or is it the cat? Yeah, this is interesting. This is good refereeing from Lisa Benn. And I think she's saying here, look, if you do that again, you're going to give me no option. This is very, very good refereeing, because she could have easily given the second yellow here and Charlton would have been down to 10. But given the circumstance, given the game state, given the competition as well, I think this is very, very good refereeing. You don't see it everywhere. You don't see it in the top flight in the men's game sometimes, but that's common sense. Well played, Lisa Benn. And one and final warning to the Charlton number 7. Seeing the flashes of the quality that Katie Bradley's got. She's got good experience, and those 2 goals against Durham late on, but it would not surprise me if she was the first to get subbed, given that yellow card and the fact that she's walking on a bit of a tightrope with the officials here. Karen Hills potentially might make that decision at half-time, but we shall see. Brazil, you know, she's got pace. She's looking to take on the Tottenham backline here. She got the skill to get beyond Neville, not quite. Brilliant defensive work. It's going to go out for a throw. Well, I don't think it crossed the line, but the officials have given a flag kick here. It looked tight. You can see the Spurs players weren't happy. Maybe it just rolled out before spinning back in, but a chance nonetheless here for Charlton. 1 goal already from a corner kick in the Championship this season. What can they do in the League Cup? Driven in, good delivery, flicked on and up, not quite away by the Spurs players, cleared to the edge of the area. Just didn't drop kindly for Humphrey. Bradley, first time. Good-looking ball as well. Talbot has missed this one. Primus is there, and it'll come back out to the edge of the 6-yard box, and the shot over the bar from Gracie Pearce. Just needed to keep that one down. I'm not saying it was easy. Needed to take something off it. It bounced up awkwardly. Talbot spilled. Primus was there. He popped up. Well, it was a delicate shot. I could see what she was trying to do. It wasn't the easiest of opportunities. Gracie Pearce's effort over the bar by a foot or so. Best chance for Charlton to level. Might just give them a little bit of confidence here. Second best in most departments. Got the fans interested as well here at the Valley. Those of Charlton persuasion, of course. There are 1 or 2 Spurs supporters also. This is Humphrey. Looking for the speed of Brazil. Really good play as well. Now then, Bradley calling for it! Wonderful goal! 1-1. Brilliantly done. It's the pace of Brazil. It's the composure of Bradley, and we're all square on the 45. Well, Charlton haven't really been in it. But Ellie Brazil has got such good pace, really good balance. She gets her head up, inch perfect. And Bradley, from just outside of the 6-yard box, manages to convert. We're going to get 3 minutes of added on time here. And Spurs might be a little annoyed about the fact that Bradley's still on the pitch, given that tug of the shirt, but I think that's fair. And on the stroke of half-time, the Championship leaders, maybe undeservedly, are back on terms, but I think we've got a game on our hands here. It's been a really good 45. Spurs have been at it, showing some top-flight quality. Charlton have been a little timid, but last 5 or 10 minutes, that big chance from Pearce and then the fine strike from Bradley, courtesy of Brazil's pace, has given them a little bit of a platform maybe to cause a shock. We shall see. Into added on time. Just got to see out the remainder of this opening 45. Deep into added on time. Spurs have it again, not for long. Clever touch for Primus, won't get there. Does take the player. It's a bit awkward. Might be a card here, you know. Yellow card for Atalanta Primus, who was signed from Southampton. Previously with London City Lionesses, as part of a title when he scored at Chelsea a good few years ago. England junior international, but Jamaican full international now. Played in some summer friendlies. Jamaica were beaten 4-0 twice by Brazil. Charlton come again. Rowe wins the ball, then loses out. Spurs have it. Primus to put the laces through it. Nothing wrong with that. Final few seconds of a first half that's been really good to watch. Pula and Bradley, the goal scorers for Spurs and Charlton respectively. Can Tottenham add to their tally in the dying embers of this first period? England to control. Good strength shown by Bethan Rowe. Got between player and ball and was shoved over by Beth England. That's going to be a free kick, and it might be the last act in this first half. Straight out of play. That is 45. League Cup action here at the Valley between these two London teams. Spurs have been excellent, but they do not lead. Bühler's goal from Wimberg's centre, giving the WSL side the advantage, but Bradley's equaliser after good pace and assist from Brazil means that the Championship leaders are level at the break. Half-time here, Charlton Athletic 1, Tottenham 1. Welcome back. A couple of changes for you ahead of this second half. Two for Charlton, one in fact for Spurs as well. Evelina Summonen is coming on for Meta Oroz. Katie Bradley is not coming out for the second half. No real surprise there for Charlton, given she was on a yellow card. Karin Muya is on, and we believe that the other change here concerns Princess Ademeluyi, who is on, we believe, for Ellie Brazil. Just waiting for confirmation of that. Don't think that Ellie has come out. Assist for the only Charlton goal so far. And of course, the goal scorer is off as well, but it does look like Ademeluyi is on. So those are the two alterations for Charlton. Get set for the second half. Underway then for the second period at the Valley. Charlton 1, Tottenham 1, championship leaders holding the WSL side in the Women's League Cup. Been a really good opening 45 minutes. Let's hope we get something similar in the second half. Spurs undoubtedly the better side, even though it is 1-1. They have been really good, and they have had chances to score more than the one that they have. But Charlton hung in there, as all good teams do, and they took their equaliser really, really well. But the players that combined for that equaliser have both gone off. One suspects they're going to be rested for the league encounter that comes up at the weekend. They take on Sunderland. That will not be easy at home at the weekend. Spurs, incidentally, will play Liverpool in the WSL. It's the start of a tricky little run for Robert Willem's side, because after Liverpool, they take on Manchester United and Chelsea, both away from home. Both teams have started very, very well, of course, in the WSL with 2 wins from their 2 matches so far. So bigger tests to come from a Spurs point of view, but just the one change that they've made with Orozco, I thought looked very good in the first half. Really neat and tidy player off. And Summonen, the player that's come on. This is Beth England. Big chance here for Spurs, not taken. Cheeky had the opportunity. Charlton are claiming that it should be a goal kick. The referee indicating that there was a bit of a block somewhere. Cheeky has to do better here, the Hungarian. I think it's a goal kick. They might have got away with it, Spurs there. They can't believe it, the Charlton players. So, corner here for Tottenham. Spurs fans who have made the trip south of the river tonight, looking to get behind their team here. In swinger. Spurs have been good from set pieces, scored once, and they've looked lively from others. Charlton with everyone back. Marking has to be better here. You can see Cheeky near the penalty spot. Neville there as well, looking to make runs. Beth England brilliant in the air as she is round the back. Oh, that's an excellent claim. Sophie Whitehouse brilliant under real pressure. Safe pair of hands, confident catch. Charlton will build from the back, as they have done for much of this fixture. They are keeping to the game plan. Just a reminder, if it is 1-1 at the 90, we will have spot kicks. No extra time, it's just for an extra point, effectively. Get the point for the draw, and if you win the shootout, you get an extra point. If you lose it, you don't. Simple as that. Joanna Buehler, intercepted. Charlton come forwards. Layoff here from Ademi Louis. And now it's with Plams. Just 18, Princess Ademi Louis, incidentally, on loan from West Ham. She was a regular substitute last season. She's yet to score a senior goal, but she's got quality, talent on the ball. She's going to play as a central striker. Something a little bit different maybe for the Spurs backline to think about, but they haven't got to think about Ellie Brazil, who I thought was standout in that first half for Charlton when they did get balls in advanced areas. Beth England with a cross. Overcooks it a little bit, but it's going to come back in by the looks of things here. Wimberg to turn on the left side, can't pull the trigger. Eventually the shot does come in. Might get another go here after Gunning Williams' effort was charged down. Play continues. Antonin. Buehler. This is Bartrip. Second half has started pretty much as the first half did, with Spurs very much in the ascendancy, putting the passes together, having all of the ball, the vast majority of the possession. Pushed forward by Muya towards Ademi Louis. This is Buehler. Plenty of League Cup action around the grounds tonight in the Women's League Cup, as we see Neville get forward. She's giving it away. She's playing on the left-hand side for this second half. She's won it back. England. Thomas does well. One back again, this time by Suminen. Now it's with Buildup. Artanen. Another Finn. As Suminen is. This is Ashley Neville. One back by Ademi Louis. Good play in central midfield here. Clever from Bashford. Really strong with the ball at her feet as well. Wasn't intimidated. Back towards Whitehouse. Lou's going to chase it down. She's not going to give it up here. Beulah will have to be wary of that threat. She will aim it back towards Caitlin Talbot. Talbot again. Oh, just for a second, Muya nearly got in. Neville gets it back. Diagonal here, nodded down by Vinberg. Muya, or rather Primus, back to the captain's skills. Go down the line. O'Rourke was dispossessed. That's going to be a free kick. Well, if you've got the skills, Talbot providing them. Muya. Actually ran into trouble, but she's done well. Primus likewise to spin it over to that left-hand side. This is Newsham. Ademi Newsham again. Got the final touch on that. I think it's a goal kick. Much more of a contest, as it was for the last 10-15 minutes of the first half. The second half is fairly similar. Spurs have had more of the ball and had it in advanced areas, but there's a real threat with Charlton here. It's a suggestion they may well have overachieved a little bit in the Championship. Their expected goal figure 6.67. They've scored 8. Expected goals against 1.3, conceded just 1. Both the expected goals figures in the Championship, both for and against the best in the division. Here is Neville. Beth England will never give anything up, always willing to chase it down. I think she's won a corner. There's the flag up anyway. Bit of instruction there for Carla Humphrey, I think, the Charlton midfielder. Primus. Newsham just getting involved a little bit more. Ademi Louis might be able to keep this one in play. Newsham just unable to take it on. Signed from Sheffield United, a regular last season. 3 years at the Yorkshire side after previously enjoying a spell at Blackburn. Did play academy football for both Manchester City and Manchester United. a Scottish junior international of a few years ago. First time ball over the top. Good running here from Charlotte Grant to keep it in play. Grant measures the ball in. Deeper towards England. Whitehouse at the second attempt will pounce. It's always going to be difficult when Beth England is charging towards you. She does well. She's done all right, Sophie Whitehouse. She has got some experience. She signed from Lewis after a couple of campaigns there, once at Bristol City and Birmingham, and was a former Spurs player. Whistle has gone here.
Substitution for Spurs.
We see a change.
Number 21, is number 15, Claire Hunt.
Well, Claire Hunt is coming on, ever present in the WSL this season. Luana Bühler, who scored the only goal for Spurs so far in this match, is coming off. She's only just back from injury, so this looks fairly planned, doesn't it? 56 minutes in, that is the switch. Hunt, who was signed from Paris Saint-Germain, part of the PSG side that was runner-up in Liga and also won the Coupe de France last season. Much travelled. Australian international, did play in the Olympics. So an awful lot of experience at the highest level. It's at the group stages, of course, in Paris. Wimberg. Just behind Bartrip. Manages to chase and keep it in play. Simon forward. Neville. Heavy touch. Demi Louis wins it back. The ball spins out. It's going to be a Spurs throw. This is Neville. England. And again to take it on and look to push towards the byline. Charlton will have to deal with this one. Not easy for them. Neville. This controls. Wimberg makes it hers, does well. Demi Louis will push away. Muya is quick. Can she get there first after putting some pressure on? Primus is breaking forward, needs to be a bit more positive there. Demi Louis wants it, edge of the penalty area, curled in towards the substitute. Just unable to make it hers, and Kathleen Talbot collects, but that was a good move from Charlton. Hunt. Thumped away. Charlton intercepts, but Spurs will come back at the Addicks here. Muya with the challenge. Well, this was the opportunity. Primus it was that found Muya, and then Primus on the overlap. Ademi Lui just couldn't get there. Good movement from Charlton, that's the game plan, isn't it? Quick transition, win the ball back as high up as you can, and then look to pounce with pace. You see a change here. Now Charlton used some of the play that's coming off the left back, who I thought's been all right in the second period. She's shown a little bit more. We are going to see Jodie Hutton. Jodie Hutton, who is a regular this season. She started every championship game so far. She did score against Portsmouth in the 3-0 home success, signed from Sheffield United. Played 5 years at Aston Villa and was a performer in the top flight, so she's got good experience, good player. Hutton is on. Newsham, the play that's gone off. So it might be a little bit of a reshuffle at the back here for Charlton. We'll see. Simonin. Bartrip. No nonsense. Back to front in double quick time. It won't quite fall for Cheeky. Oh, unlucky. Ademi Lui wants to take the throw in quickly, utilising the pace of Muya, who gets there first. We've got players crashing to the turf. Muya still has it here. All their own work at the moment. Fancy footwork to get to the byline. Does she win a corner? No. Oh, does she? No, she doesn't. I think that's the right call from the referee. I think Lisa Ben's been excellent. Sensible refereeing. On reflection, maybe she got that one right. It's difficult to see from that angle. Defensive team will always get the benefit of the doubt. Bartrip. Talbot. Back by Hunt. Ashley Neville under a bit of pressure. Good pressing here from Charlton, and they forced the error. And that's what they've been doing in the Championship. They're an energetic, industrious side. Like to put the opposition under pressure. Usually have more of the ball than the opposition. Not really been the case against the top flight side. That's understandable, but they've got different ways to play, and we're seeing it tonight. That's going to bode well for the future in the Championship. They're desperate to get into the Women's Super League. So close last season. Point behind Palace, winning 13 of their 22 games. When you look back at some of the games that they dropped points in late last season, really frustrating. Last defeat was against London City Lionesses back in March. Won their last 8. If you spin it back to the 4 last season as well, they've won 9 of their last 10. Only 3 defeats, the last 14. That does include at the hands of Spurs in the FA Cup. Scored in the last 11 now. So some really good numbers and metrics, but obviously it's different against a top division side. But you do sense that this squad, with a few additions, could live in the WSL. They've gone close in recent campaigns. They're jumping into the top flight for the first time in the WSL era. 2nd last year, 4th prior to that, 5th prior to that. They're getting better. It's a little hesitant, but Whitehouse manages to find a teammate. Primus. And again, good football. Stab back towards Humphrey, and then space on the right-hand side. Ball is kept in play. Really good running from O'Rourke here. Who can she pick out? Good block. Vinberg in the way. Oh, but it spins kindly for Charlton. Forced back inside the penalty area. Humphrey it was that centred. Cleared away for a Charlton throw. Good little spell this for the Addicts. Just pushing Spurs back. Clear to the edge of the area. They will be mindful of not leaving gaps at the back though. Can't get too adventurous here, one suspects. Neville. Vinberg on the overlap here. And does get the crossing towards Beth England. Cleared away. And to launch back in. Nodded to the edge of the area. All a little hurried there by Charlton. Grant's got another chance to maybe centre. Artanen. This is Hunt. Spurs probe away. 25 minutes remaining here of this League Cup tie. Suminen looks to divert to this near side. It's cleared away by Charlton. Suminen wants it back. Here is the substitute. Grant's on the right-hand side. She's switched wings, remember, for this second half. Pushed back towards the fullback. She's inside the area. Neatly done! The shot just wide. Clever build-up play. And in many ways deserved more, didn't it? Charlotte Grant hasn't scored this season. Last goal did come in the League Cup against Southampton and a 3-0 away success. It was worked brilliantly. Just needed to curl that one. Wrap the left boot around it a little bit more. Changes here. Jesnaz is coming on. We can see further alterations planned here for Tottenham. 3 all told.
13, Matilda Vinberg.
Vinberg is coming off. Artanen has already come off. We're going to see Araya Dennis as well. And there's a final change for Spurs here. There is Matilda Vinberg going off. The free kick, of course, from her that supplied the only goal for Spurs. Dennis, a striker, signed from Crystal Palace. It's a debut for Spurs. And Drew Spence is coming on for Anna Chiki. Had that big chance in the first half, you might recall. So those are the changes. Dennis, Spence and Naz on. Anton and Chiki and Vinberg, the players to be replaced. Spurs have played their card with a quarter of the fixture remaining in terms of the changes. Going to be a yellow card here. And goes into the book. Had that chance just a few moments ago. Confirmation that Charlotte Grant goes into the book. Cautioned here. Promise and Bradley, of course, were booked for Charlton earlier. And Grant follows. Bit of time for the Charlton bench to once again get some instruction into the team, get some water on board as well. It's been an energetic game. It's been a game that's been played at a proper pace. It may well be the League Cup, but there's fringe first teamers who are desperate to get into league lineups, and I think we've seen that. There's been good energy in industry and plenty of quality on show. Will penalties be needed to decide who gets the extra point? 21 minutes to find a winner in the 90. We are. Bit of a battle at the minute. Spurs have got a free kick. Drew Spence moves away, vastly experienced. She scored against Palace opening weekend of the season. She started the first 2 games of the campaign. 3rd year now at Spurs. Not a regular last term for one reason or another, but a mainstay of multiple title-winning sides at Chelsea, of course, and cup-winning teams as well. And the Jamaican international who initially played for the England junior side, but found regular international football with the Caribbean nation. Jess Naz, who made her England debut, of course, this calendar year. She really has progressed, and a lot more to come from Naz. Terrific player, scored against Palace as well in that 4-0 win. Made her England debut as a sub against Ireland in a European qualifier in the summer. More to come from her this season. Humphrey, neat and tidy in midfield as ever. Now it's with skills to stride forwards. Demi Louis. Primus flicks it over. Grant battles away and wins possession. Just gets the better of Jodie Hutton. It's going to be a Charlton ball. Charlton come again. Good running from Hutton. Can't quite get the cross in. Ball just about goes out of play. Spurs throw. Spurs looking to build from the back. Not equal to the task at the moment. Muir nods it down. Humphrey tried to control, just unable to do so. It was a difficult ball. Muir helps win it back. Humphrey's there as well. Red shirts in advanced areas, a number of them. That's a clever ball to this right-hand side. And O'Rourke, can she pull it back? She can. This is Muir looking to use her strength. Still going forward, cleared away. Good pressure from Charlton here. Good refereeing as well. Just some good, strong challenges. Nothing the wrong side of the law. Stays on her feet, good honesty from Moya. And in the end, Karen Moya blocked very late on inside the 6-yard box. Charlton eventually will take the throw. We are okay to continue. Back up on her feet. Another opportunity. Plan B maybe here. Demi Louis is closest, but O'Rourke will wait. It's going to be another Charlton throw, I think. Ricochet back off Neville. Does that go out for a corner? No, goal kick. Well, they battled away on the right-hand side. They got a few throws go their way, but not the corner that they really wanted. But again, there's good pressure on the ball here from the Charlton players, and Demi Louis might be able to get in here. It was a little late with the challenge. She might get booked for that. Just a case of over-exuberance. The ball was there to go for, but she wasn't quite quick enough. It is a yellow card. It's probably the right decision. And Demi Louis is cautioned. Yeah, really late. Changes foot. Home team making a double switch. So Mary Bashford is coming off.
And replacing Mary, would you please welcome number 5, Alicia Dow.
Alicia Dow is on.
And please show your appreciation to 8, Carla Humphrey.
And Carla Humphrey, he's had a really good game, he's coming off. And she is going to be replaced here for the final, 15 minutes or so, plus added on time.
And replacing Carla, would you please welcome number 18, Gloria Siva.
Gloria Siba is coming on. 20-year-old Hungarian who played for the national side back in February. A spell at Wimbledon. Dow's got a bit more experience, featured in every championship game so far this season, scored against Blackburn at the weekend. Third season now at Charlton after 8 years at Villa. She did play in the top flight, former England junior international. We'll see what Dow can contribute. Game has just lost its shape a little bit in the last 5 or 6 minutes or so. Will we see a winner? And there's the question. Charlton pushing up a little bit, but Spurs time to try and get some players forward. England calling for it. Determined run over on that right-hand side. Not the worst ball in as well. And then Gunning Williams goes down. Wow, Dennis with the run looked very, very good on the ball. Only started one game in the Championship for Palace last season. But looks a prospect. Barclays. Neville. Spurs have got to try and find their rhythm again that we saw in the first half when they were dominant, had so much of the ball inside that Charlton half. It's not really been the same since the restart. Forward by Hunt. Barclays keeps it in play just. Grant over on the right-hand side. Dennis. Grant wants it down the line. England waits inside the penalty area. Grant runs into trouble. Goal kick. The last time that Spurs were involved in a penalty shootout in this competition, it was a 3-3 draw against North London rivals Arsenal. Arsenal did win the shootout. Spence to cuddle over to the right-hand side. Grant to get her head up. Deep ball in, good one as well, and Whitehouse watches it supremely well. Prior to that North London Derby League Cup defeat on spot kicks, they were also beaten by Arsenal again in this competition back in November 20. They've lost their last 2 shootouts in an attempt to get an extra point. Their last win was against West Ham back in October 2019. Twice extra point winners by way of a shootout in the history of their participation in this competition. Charlton have only been in a shootout once previously in the League Cup. That was after a 0-0 draw with London City Lionesses. They did lose the shootout, failed to pick up the extra point. Neville for Naz. First time we've seen Jess Naz run at the Charlton back line. Twisting one way, then the other, and then losing possession. Seemed to be the player initially. This is Barclays. Grant to dig out the cross. Easy for Sophie Whitehouse, who's impressed. Her handling skills have been excellent. She's been dominant from crosses, set pieces. I guess she will look back at the goal that Charlton conceded and maybe believe she should have done a bit better, but it was a ball to the far post, probably wasn't hers to go for. Needed her defenders to be a little sharper. She might end up being key player if it comes to the shootout. Opportunity for keepers, obviously. Really good running from here from Jodie. Hot and off, she's unlucky. She was determined, she was quick, she was forceful, but according to the referee, the shove was illegal. 9 minutes remaining. Shootout looms. Someone runs into trouble. Fed back by Siba. Primus, who's grown into the game. Thought she was a little tentative early on in this fixture, but she's shown some really good touches in the second half. Been impressed with her. Gonna get the boot back on. Because Atlanta Primus is the daughter of Linvoy Primus, who did play for Charlton, started at Charlton, finished at Charlton. Most of his career at Portsmouth, big spell at Charlton Barnet as well, but mainly remembered, I think, for a 9-year spell on the South Coast. Spurs start again. Haven't had that guile and know-how, haven't managed to really push Charlton back in this second half. They've had chances, yes, haven't taken them. Jess Naz breaking forward now for Tottenham. Can she get the cross in? She can. Towards Dennis, only to the edge of the box. Grant will come back in. The header from Beth England doesn't quite have the pace and power. Difficult one for her. She was coming back away from goal, needed to generate the power, not easy. It's going to be a Spurs throw. Grant. Back for Bartrip. Now Neville. Naz. Neville calling for it back. She's made a move inside the penalty area, just outside of it on the left flank. Simonen. Hunt from distance. Not going to be an informed Sophie Whitehouse from that sort of distance, and it's off target anyway. Always going wide. Takes something special to beat Charlton's informed keeper from that sort of range.
penalty shootout at the end of the game.
Dennis. Naz to use her pace. Gets a head up, goes for glory! Wonderful hit! Terrific goal! And Spurs, with 5 minutes remaining, are back in front. Well, that is a thunderbolt of a shot from Jess Naz. Terrific hit. She's been dangerous since she came on, operating on the left-hand side. It's a really good ball, beautifully weighted. First touch is good, and how about that for a second? Unstoppable. Sophie Whitehouse has had a really good game for Charlton in goal, but there ain't no stopping that one. Have some of that brilliant strike. Feel for Charlton a little bit here, because they have competed. They've done really well in the second half. I guess overall you look at the metrics and the stats and you'd suggest that Spurs probably deserve to be 2-1 in front, but the balance of play in this second half, there's been little to choose between them. Not over yet, of course. Spurs are going to go searching for more, that's for sure. 3 minutes remaining. Sliding challenge coming in, and Hutton may well be carded here. Bit of frustration there. I think she's been good since she came on. That's going to be a yellow. Picked up 7 yellow cards last season for Sheffield United in the Championship. She's combative. Well, what did Charlton do here? Try and throw caution to the wind, or make sure they don't get beaten 3 or 4 in the last few minutes here, because mentally that is tough. They have worked so hard in this second half. They really have been. A real test for Spurs. They've showed their quality. They've been well organised, defensively sound, up until Nasser's goal, of course, but they have created chances. They've spurned opportunities. They'll look back at the game and think, yeah, we should have had 2, but Spurs can point to big chances that they didn't convert as well. And can't control. The ball goes out of play. This is Skeels. England in the way again. One thing you are going to get with Beth England is 100% effort for every single second that she's on the pitch. Fed back by Pearce, who had that chance in the first half, of course, from close range that just went over the crossbar. You look back on the game and think, yeah, what about that opportunity? What about that one? Just unable to take them. And given we're ticking towards the 90th minute, and we might have a few minutes added on time here. We have the odd stoppage and change, of course, in this second half. We might get 4 or 5 for Charlton, maybe to nick a point and force a penalty shootout late on. They scored very late on in the first half, of course. Under pressure. Interestingly, Grant's come back to this near side now. Skills was chasing it down. She's going to have to get back in position defensively. Neville's gone back to the right-hand side, so that the fullbacks have switched wings again. Spurs slow it down. Simon managing the game well, in fairness. Robert Villaham's side. Bartrip. Forward by Drew Spence. Now it's with Dennis. Stuck up with the ball at her feet. quite sure if that was a shot from 35 yards or an attempt to try and play a teammate in.
6 minutes additional time to play. 6 minutes.
6 minutes we're going to get here, which feels about right. Charlton fans let out a cheer. Maybe their team can provide one moment of brilliance to force a shootout. Put a shift in as well. That's another thing I'd suggest. Yes, both teams much changed, but the been players that started at the weekend, but the energy and industry from both the teams has been excellent. Been a proper football match, no slacking here. Credit to those fringe first teamers, the players that have come on. Really entertaining stuff. But Charlton have got 5 minutes to grab a leveller so we can enjoy a shootout. We can, they couldn't. Even at a group stage game, I suspect the nerves will take a bit of a battering, but I reckon Spurs will be able to manage this from here on in. They're not taking too many chances, are they, here? Quite happy to just retain possession deep inside their own half for the minute. And just see that clock tick down. Scored a very late goal against Villa at the weekend. That was for a crucial WSL point. Here, it's going to be for 3. It will potentially see them go to the top of the Group E standings in the League Cup. Villa Palace is the other game, incidentally, that is taking place tonight. Last we heard there, Villa were 2 to the good, so on goal difference, Villa would be top. Only the 5 group winners will go through, incidentally. There's no route for a best second place. As Mia goes forward, chance here, post hit, follow-up blocked. O'Rourke it was initially, and then Sieber with the follow-up. Charlton close to a leveller late on. Falls to Sieber, left-footed, hits the foot of the post, and then Sieber reacts well, brilliant block. Bartrip in the way, and just a corner for Charlton's troubles. Outswinger potentially here. Oh, it's flighted in low to the edge of the area. Problem here for Charlton, unless they can play it back towards the Spurs penalty area. They have got players in good positions here, Tottenham. Spence will play it down the line. Charlton knocked the ball out of play for a throw. But the way that the League Cup works this season, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City will all come into the competition at the quarter-final stage. They've been exempt from the group stage because of their participation in the Champions League group stages. And we've got 5 groups of 4. Only group winners go through. So you will not get through if you're a best runner-up, as you have done in previous years. So close to a leveller. England chases it down. Whitehouse will clear. And 2.5 minutes for Charlton to find a second. So close, striking the woodwork. Just a couple of minutes to go. Flag is up. Jessica Nurse's 86th minute goal, the difference. Oh, nearly through for Charlton. Demi Louis gives the ball away, and there's so many red shirts who are breaking forward there that they've left 1 or 2 holes at the back. This is Jessica Naz, and still going forward. Dennis has just run into an offside position, but still the white shirts are coming forward in numbers, and this is Neville with a strike. Fine save from Whitehouse. Really good hit. Brilliant save, tipped over. Sophie Whitehouse denying Ashley Neville here. He took aim from long range. That's a really good save. Strong hand to that. Into the final minute of the added-on 6. Spurs have a corner looking to grab a third, which might be a little unfair on Charlton. Good delivery though. England with a header. It's going to bounce wide, but kept in play just. Spurs look to recycle potentially here. Gunny Williams has done well. Hook to safety. Is there to be one last Charlton charge? Who's going to chase it? Seconds remaining. Quick check from our referee, Lisa Ben. She's just going to let it go a little bit more, is she here? Charlton win it back. Can they force anything? Needs to be an up and under. Tried to play it inside the fullback, but that might well be that. It is. It is Spurs that pick up the group win in the League Cup. Hard fought. Jessica Naz has got all the difference in the end after Buehler put Tottenham in front and Bradley equalised the back end of the first half. Charlton battled, had chances in the second period, but Jessica Naz, the substitute, with a thunderous effort from just inside the penalty area, the difference. Full time here, Charlton Athletic 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2.